Stephen Hoover. I am the instructor for the computer-aided drawing and modeling class here at Orange Technical College South Campus. This program is 1,200 hours long for adults. We have it divided into 3 classes. The first class is CAD and Modeling 1, which encompasses the AutoCAD software. And but we get exposed to all facets of drafting. It's the software that we're learning. We're project-based, and we actually do a residential house that's a whole book with step 1, step 2, step 3, etc. And while we're doing that, we have auxiliary, the auxiliary learning tools. We have an LMS, Learning Management System, with a book called Architectural Drafting and Design, which they have students can read online. And you can also then do quizzes and essays within the software and do that. But the final questions are through Canvas. Our second class is with using Revit software. The Revit software is actually modeling software with the 3D modeling, and a house is actually a house. You're putting it on the computer. And I say that because like a wall is a wall, and you do the makeup of the wall, the insulation, the gypsum wallboard, etc. We're doing that, and so you can use that. You can make a wall, and then you can go to the wall command and use that particular instance with the software with Revit. Those 2 are the required classes. Those are each 450 hours, making 900. The third class is the student's choice. The third class you could either go into, and it's the 300 remaining hours for the 1,200. You could go into the commercial architecture, which is similar to the Revit, and it is but it uses the software. There's other modules in the software for structural engineering, and they call it systems, which is heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and electrical and piping. So you're doing a law office. Again, all our material, the main part of it is project-based. It's a book doing that. That's choice 1 of the 3. The second choice is the mechanical engineering, which is the machine parts, and that uses the Inventor software. Again, it's all project-based plus individual learning modules to assist with that. And I actually wrote the frameworks for the state. It's FLDOE C100-300, and that outlines all the possibilities for all of the classes, of which, with the mechanical, I had a beta project from, the software beta that worked with Inventor. Pardon me. Works with Inventor, but is for finite element analysis, stress analysis for Inventor. And I worked that into the frameworks for that second class with Inventor. Or the third choice for the 300 hours each is civil engineering and GIS a technologist. And that incorporates, excuse me, all the software. It incorporates AutoCAD, some of the civil 3D, which is actually uses AutoCAD as its space, and proposed, I want to get into ArcGIS in the near future, hopefully. So those are our courses that we teach, that I teach. A typical day, I do have dual enrollment and I have adults. So It's a typical day is I get in, demonstrate the software on the overhead, on the examples up there. We go in and I work them through the AutoCAD so they'll learn, and then they can apply that to their ongoing projects, the house or the Revit house or what have you. And I have all 3 classes going at the same time with dual limit. But it covers the same mention that I mentioned earlier. We do have, excuse me, we do have a very successful internship program for adults. I've been teaching here at Orange Tech College South. I've been here and teaching this program. I'm the only one in the district, but I teach for 14 years. I've been teaching this. So they either come to the Career Center, who references me to determine what students of the adults are most adapt to whatever. It may be a structural engineering, it may be a civil, and I determine which students are available. To the extent that I then work out with individual companies, try to work out the internships, which they get credit for their class, but they're on the job training, the adults, and they receive a paycheck as far as that goes because of the nature of the software and what they're using. I have repeat clientele, I mean the corporations. I have, that they come back, I've had up to 4 and 5 students that were on the internships that they hired. That's even the case where recently, well, along the line through the years, my former students are supervisors, and they interview my current students for the internship. And they get credit for their class too. They have to keep up with that as well for that. We have articulation agreements with Valencia, where program completers, they are able to get credit. Now Valencia has the associate degrees of science. The traditional drafting and design, which they've had all along. In the last 3 years, they have a construction and civil engineering degree as well. And both of those, upon program completion, they honor credits here, where they have the architecture, the construction in that is 12 credit hours of their electives, where that's half, and the design, drafting and design degree program over at Valencia, they honor up to 19 credit hours. They have, so they can graduate here and have essentially possibly half their elective courses in their specialized field. And then I don't speak for Valencia, but I've had meetings with them, and they do the core there, and then they have half their electives. We do have industry certifications here in all 3 software. We have the AutoCAD industry certification, we have Revit industry certification, and Inventor industry certification. And we have so we have practice exams as well that train them, as well as what they're learning in the classroom. And so they can prepare themselves for the industry certification. Looks good on the resume. And that's one of the key things where the industry hires based on your certifications from Autodesk. And we have a testing center right here on campus. Again, I teach dual enrollment, and I teach adults at the same time in all facets of it. I'll be answering a question or giving a demonstration in AutoCAD up on the board, or on the video projector, or I will be going around answering questions in Revit or structural. And one other thing is, particularly with commercial architecture, that's what the area is, with architecture being prevalent, where like in Jacksonville, there's more machining around there because it's an export. So it depends what area you're doing, but the job market is really good. And for instance, the question might be, well, I want to be an architect. Well, what that encompasses is a bachelor degree from an architecture university accredited by the National Accrediting Architectural Board. So it's specifically in that UF has a campus downtown and UCF has the architectural programs. So there's that, and 3 years professional internship. Ours are educational, but again, they get hired, and what they do then is, if they're hired, the architect of the corporation, he goes and says, well, what's that code apply to this? And he makes notes. That's a professional internship. They have to do that for 3 years. And I'm working up to it. So it's a bachelor's degree from an accredited school, which may amount to more than 4 years, you know. And then there is the professional internship for 3. And after all that is accomplished, they can sit on their licensure for becoming an architect, which I might brag. I have 2 students who are almost completed with that. To become an architect with this licensing board, it involves 7 or 8 tests, and it's over a period of 3 years. So I have 2 former students who are right near that and becoming an architect. So.